still ongoing in eastern Kentucky. At last check, about 13,000 still without power across the region. In Hazard, crews are still hard at work cleaning up. Skyline Drive that leads to the old La Citadel Motel is still a mess. WIMT's Will Puckett caught up with a tree removal crew as they help families battered by the windstorm.
It's bad. It looks like a tornado had come through.
That is Donald Bailey. He and his crews are working 12-hour days, sawing logs, then running debris, working to get families' yards clear.
Phone calls after phone calls from neighbors stopping, giving cards, wanting us to come look. Just urgent, people needing stuff off their houses and buildings, and it's been pretty hectic.
This is one of the hardest hit areas of Perry County. Up Skyline Drive, scenes like this one can be viewed all over.
As soon as we leave here, we've got bukus of work, just here and there, all over the place.
With prices running in the thousands, tree removal crews like these 4 men are busy.
It's a bad job, but somebody's got to do it.
Busy working to get the region back up and running. In Hazard, Will Puckett, WIMT News.
Bailey says it will take 2 full days to clear all of the trees from that property. Since Sunday's heavy winds across the Commonwealth, power is being restored, allowing homeowners to assess the damage. With a rise in claims, Hazard native Dwayne Davidson, co-owner of AOK Roofing and Exteriors, drove more than 100 miles to help. With more than 10 years of experience, Davidson says these storms caused more damage than he expected.
Sometimes we have to tarp the roofs, do temporary repairs so that the roofs don't leak. If you have insurance, the insurance company will pay to replace your roof if it has wind damage.
Davidson also says they offer free estimates, and when it comes to getting work like this done to your home, make sure to verify the business with the Better Business Bureau for your safety. A family of 5 in Letcher County lost most of what they had after a tree came through their home in Blackie. WIMT's Connor James talked with them about what happened and how, although they do not know what to do now, they are just happy they still have each other.
Now, the couple that lives here have lived here for 15 years. They have 3 kids, and they left this home on Sunday night when those high winds picked up across the region. They were fearful of trees falling around the home, but when they came back, they were in disbelief with what actually happened. Sam Sizemore and his family are trying to figure out what to do next. They can't come back to this home due to the sheer damage to it. They do say they're incredibly thankful, though. Their kids would have been in the room that the tree crashed into if they would have stayed here on Sunday night. Now, the tough thing is that they don't have homeowners insurance here. They've been staying at this home for the past month or so, trying to stay out of the public. Most of the family does have pre-existing conditions such as high blood pressure or asthma.
No home, no nothing more. We lost everything. He threw wood out my daughter's room. He destroyed everything my little ones had. Toys, diapers, clothes.
You know, all their stuff was in the living room here.
Now, the family tells me they don't really know what they're going to do next. They're staying with a family friend in the meantime, but that place for them is still pretty cramped as both families try to make do. I'm in Letcher County. Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
At last check, there are a little more than 3,000 people still without power in Letcher County. Work started today to fix a damaged bridge in Prestonsburg. State crews spent much of the day removing damaged asphalt. Weather permitting, tomorrow the maintenance crew will pour concrete to repair the bridge surface. To make sure the concrete sets well, the bridge will remain closed until at least Monday. State Representative Derek Lewis is accused of driving drunk. A citation from the Laurel County Sheriff's Department says a deputy found Lewis outside his truck after it went in a ditch on Hatcher Road early this morning. The deputy says it was obvious he was under the influence of alcohol. He says Lewis argued with him, demanded he call the sheriff, and he refused a blood test. He was taken to the Laurel County Detention Center. Lewis released a statement saying, quote, "I will be pleading not guilty and look forward to resolving this matter in court. Thank you for your patience and understanding as the facts come out." Lewis says he was returning to Laurel County after the last day of the legislative session.
All that beautiful sun sunshine returned once again today, and we're just starting to see a few clouds now move back into our area. Let's go ahead and take you up to our UVA-wise camera where you can see that beautiful sunshine throughout the day, and they're starting to see maybe a few clouds move in, but overall they have seen the beautiful blue skies really throughout the day. As we go ahead and take you over to Interstate 75 into Mount Vernon, you can definitely see those blue skies, not a cloud in the sky over there. And temperatures were a little bit on the warmer side for today. We were into about the mid to upper 50s, a little bit cooler up into Moorhead and Huntington. They're into those lower 50s. 56 though down into Harlan, close to 60 though down into Middlesboro in Bell County. Now for tonight, still a little bit chilly but warmer than the past few nights, upper 30s to lower 40s. We are going to see those clouds start to increase just a little bit, especially heading into your Friday. We'll see more mixture of sun and clouds as some rain chances return back to the mountains late Friday into early Saturday. We do have some sunshine in store heading into the weekend, and we'll start to warm up, especially as we head into the new week. I'll have more on that coming up in a little bit.
All right, thank you, Paige. Many Kentuckians, especially those out of work, are wondering when their lives and incomes might return to normal. It's been particularly hard for people having trouble filing for unemployment benefits. Governor Andy Beshear told Bill Bryan on WKYT that the state is working to make sure people get their unemployment checks. With more than 500,000 unemployment claims in the last month, Beshear says Kentucky's system is dealing with something it has never faced before.
But to everybody out there who hasn't been helped yet, you're right. It's taking too long. You are in a place where you need the help and you need it now, and I will take responsibility for that. Now, if you've been waiting, that's on us, and we're going to continue to work to fix it day in and day out.
He says the call center staff has jumped from 12 employees to 1,000. Yesterday's protest in Frankfort brought a few changes to the Capitol grounds today. The Capitol lawn is blocked off with yellow caution tape. Barricades are also up on the portico, and insulation was also added in the window of the room where Governor Beshear gives his daily updates. They are calling it Restart Kentucky. The Kentucky Chamber of Commerce is planning a series of talks with leaders in public health and business to discuss how the state gets back to work. Victor Puente talked to the Chamber president about the details of that plan.
A state of emergency has been in place here in Kentucky for more than a month. Based on the number of new COVID cases, those efforts seem to be working, but it's taken a toll on the state's economy. While some want an immediate change, the president of the Kentucky Chamber of Commerce says that plan needs to be a thorough one.
We do want Kentucky, obviously, to eventually be reopened for business, but we know it's going to take some time. And so with that, we think there needs to be planning that goes in along with it.
More than 500,000 Kentuckians have filed for unemployment over the last month, and businesses across the state have made sacrifices.
Shutting down and abiding by the new laws, donating their resources and their PPEs, but it's time that we now try to plan a path forward for them and what that looks like.
The effects of employers like Toyota shutting down have rippled across the state, with many suppliers also closing temporarily. Yesterday, Governor Beshear said he had been talking to neighboring governors about getting businesses back up and running. The chamber has been doing the same.
We've been working with other chambers of commerce across the nation to kind of swap ideas, see what they're doing, find best practices.
Starting next week, they'll be hosting web seminars. The first two are with public health leaders and economists. Following weeks will include educators and hospital administrators. They hope those talks can help with their plan called Restart Kentucky. They know once business does resume, it won't be as usual, but hopefully will be as soon as safely possible.
To make sure that when the workforce does return to work, we do it in the safest way possible. And I think the reality is that it's going to look a little different than it did before.
In Frankfort, Victor Puente, WKYT.
The Chamber's website also has a section highlighting businesses that are still hiring, such as Amazon and grocery stores. A Walmart employee here in Hazard tested positive for COVID-19. Health Department officials tell us the 41-year-old man actually lives in Knott County, so it's considered Knott County's second case. If you visited the Hazard Walmart between March 14th and April 9th, you may have been exposed. Health officials ask that you monitor yourself closely for any symptoms. One Harlan County native is working as a firefighter in Asheville, North Carolina. As an EMT and firefighter, he's responding to several calls for COVID-19 patients. WIMT's Hannah Reynolds talks to him about how one person back home in Harlan is helping keep him safe.
Keywords on the phone call when people call 911, like fevers, difficulty breathing, chest pains.
Each and every call.
I've been on 6 or 7 calls that have been COVID patients.
A risk.
It's like almost like a hazmat response, because it's a big deal. It's very easily transmitted. So we're trying to avoid all patient contact. We dispose our bags, we dispose of our gear immediately after the call.
With the shortage of N95 masks, Vince's wife started looking for alternatives. The answer?
Alabama, Mississippi, Texas.
Across the state border back in Vince's hometown of Harlan.
I think she saw my Facebook because I used the Kentucky group.
And when she sent them, not only did she do so for free.
So I spent one night, spent about 15 on them. Like I say, they all have a co-worker. If one desperate need it, that means the other one going to need it. I'm just like, I'm not smart, but I'm just going to use my common sense. I wish I could make a minute. I wish I could pray like a prayer, just keep praying out. I don't mind to make everybody enough warm. Because like I said, it gives people hope, it gives people comfortable.
And even though she couldn't make 1 million, those that she could meant the world to Asheville, even if they did have UK on them.
Those guys aren't really UK people, but I know I know the meaning behind it. So they were excited. They were super excited.
Teaming up for those on the front line. Hannah Reynolds, WIMT Mountain News.
Joyce's goal is to make 1,000 masks, and she's already passed the 800 mark. Eastern Kentucky has ties to the COVID-19 pandemic in New York. Floyd County native Whitney Smith works at NYU Winthrop Hospital. She is a traveling nurse and recently finished a contract at a hospital in West Virginia. She tells us why she chose to move to New York and why she decided to work with COVID-19 patients.
There's just so much need right now, and I have the availability. I don't have kids or anything, so I just decided there was a very good chance that I was going to be exposed to COVID no matter where I was, so I might as well go ahead and go to the heart of it where they need the most people.
WIMT's Dakota Makris will bring you her story on what it's like working on the front lines tonight at 11.
And we'll see more rain chances heading into your Friday and into your Saturday, but how long will those stick around? I'll have that answer coming up.
But first, in the midst of social distancing and widespread power outages, a school district is finding ways to keep their kids safe.